Hey everyone, welcome to Achievement Through Attitude TV. I'm your host and attitude coach, Phil Stringer. This program is about getting yourself an attitude adjustment or finding an attitude that gets your motor running. Everyone knows from time to time we need an attitude adjustment, a kick in the pants, if you will, to help us move to the next level, to keep us moving in the right direction. And that's what this program does. We're going to bring on guests that have faced tremendous challenges. But they don't see them as challenges. They see everything as opportunity, simply because they have an amazing attitude. They have attitudes of never hang your head, never surrender, yes I will, nothing will stop me. They are committed, they are focused, and they are willing to sacrifice for the things that they want to do. Simply because of an amazing attitude, they can achieve big. They can achieve everything they seek to do. Today, we're going to talk about an attitude of perseverance. And my first guest has truckloads of it. And I'm talking truckloads. Not this much, not this much, this much. He is an ex-Navy SEAL. He is a world-class record-holding endurance athlete. So guys, stay tuned to get your attitude adjusted with Mr. Carlos Melita, next on Achievement Through Attitude TV. Why don't we start by just tell me where you're from?
I'm originally from Brazil. I was born in São Paulo, Brazil, and as a teenager, I always liked the American culture. And I used to be a professional skateboarder. And when I was about 16 years old, I came to the U.S. for the first time, the Oceanside, for a world championship skateboarding. And I fell in love with the place. I loved this. I loved the lifestyle. And so when I went back home, I told my mom, I'm going to go back there. I love this thing. And, so that's what I did. I work hard, save all my money. And, once I turned 18 years old, I said goodbye to my family and I emigrated to the United States. They thought, okay, he's going to go there for a little vacation. He'll be back with his tail between his legs. And, I never went back. I fell in love with the country, with the people. And, eventually, I thought my life was going to be, the free life, surfing and skateboarding and everything. But all of a sudden, I'm young, and you have to grow up really fast.
Exactly.
And that's what happened to me. I learned the real things about life.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working hard and realized and learned that I was a hard-working guy. I was very focused on the things that I wanted. It's almost like I was able to be born again and really discover who I was.
Right.
Eventually, I joined the U.S. Navy.
How old were you when you joined the Navy?
I was around that time. I was about 26.
26.
Yes, I wanted to be a Navy diver. When I joined the Navy, that's what I wanted to do.
I think when we talked before, you said you wanted to do deep sea diving, right?
Exactly, yeah, because I was a diver before, just a recreational diver, and what better place to learn how to be a deep sea diver than the Navy, you know what I mean? But as soon as I joined the Navy, I learned about the SEALs.
Right.
And it was like, that's you, that was me, exactly what I wanted to do, and the kind of people I want to work with. And I was up for the challenge, I had no idea if I even had a chance of making it,
right.
you know what I mean? But I had to give the shot. And I did, I went through BUD/S, which is the SEAL training, basic underwater demolition SEAL training.
And how many weeks was that?
That's 7 months.
That's 7 months.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
And we had about 120 people in my class.
Right.
And only about 11 of the guys made it through training. 11 of the original guys.
11 of the original.
Yes.
Now, were you when you were accepted into the BUD/S program, weren't you at sea? Were you?
Yes, yeah. Because what happened was, I took my test, but I was already assigned to a ship. So I had to do a 6-month tour before I was able to go to BUD/S. So throughout the cruise, that's when I received my orders to go to BUD/S,
okay.
and I was the happiest guy on the ship.
Did they let you train on the ship?
Actually, they did. I mean, they allowed me to work, do a different job,
okay.
which kind of prepared me to, I had the time to prepare to go to buds. You know, you can't prepare to go to buds. That's the thing. People think you can, you know, you can be very fit and you'd be ready. You think you're ready, and within 45 minutes of a Hell Week, you know, people are quitting. You know, the guy that you thought was going to be the guy that's going to fly through training, you know, the Rambo-looking guy, big muscles, triathlete, oh, that guy's going to make it, no problem.
45 minutes in.
Within 45 minutes of Hell Week, you know, because of the misery. They put you through things that really you have no idea who comes up with this stuff to begin with.
True.
But you have no idea that you're going to make it through it. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that person, you know, with the fire in the gut, they call it, that no matter what they throw at them, you know, they're going to deal with it, you know, and they want to make it, they're going to make it through it.
Right.
And
right. So a little bit of perseverance in there somewhere, right?
Yes,
along
because
with the guts.
Right, because you know, it's very hard for you to succeed at something the first time. You have to keep on trying and keep on trying and keep on trying, and without perseverance, really, you know, you're never going to succeed at anything.
Right.
Because, you know, you're going to have obstacles in your life, you know, and some people, you know, at the first sight of an obstacle, you know, as soon as things get hard, they have a tendency to get comfortable. No, I can't do this. It's very easy to find an excuse.
Exactly. We were talking about earlier about when you see these amazing challenges, that you don't see a challenge, you actually see opportunity.
It's an opportunity, yeah.
Exactly.
It's an opportunity for you to, you know, to rediscover yourself. It's an opportunity to make a difference, you know, in your life, and a difference in somebody else's life. And, you know, throughout BUD/S and then eventually in the SEAL teams, I was able to find out a lot more about myself, you know, and really be tested to a point where I had to go a little further than I thought I ever could.
Right.
You know, eventually I did finish BUD/S. And I was assigned to SEAL Team 4 in Little Creek, Virginia. And I did a couple of tours in South America with SEAL Team 4. And eventually, we were called upon to go to Panama in 1989.
In 89.
Right.
Bush called that in, right?
Yes. And that, you know, and as a young guy, you know, you train for that stuff. Right. You know, when they said, who wants to go? I put my hand up, but I want to go.
Exactly. Because when we talked at your house, you told me after 7 months of SEAL training that nothing could stop you.
No, you think you're Superman. That, you know, and that's the thing. BUD/S transforms you. You know, SEAL training transforms you. You know, you're reborn, like I said, and but you're not indestructible. I mean,
exactly.
you're mentally ready for everything. But the, you know, the reality of it is that you're human, just like everybody else.
And I'm going to guess that there was some serious attitude adjusting going on at that BUD/S, that 7 months of BUD/S training.
Yes, you know, you learn a lot about perseverance. You learn a lot about keep going, because what they do is they keep throwing problems at you. They keep throwing obstacles 24 hours a day at you for you to overcome those problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the people that can't, you know, they just keep dropping. They keep dropping and keep dropping. And those, you know, who persevere, you know, are the ones that are standing, you know, at graduation day.
Let's go back to Panama. Now, that was 1989. And your SEAL Team 4 was called in to help with the invasion there.
Correct, yeah. Our job was to secure Patilha Airport, which is, you know, the airport where Manuel Noriega kept his private jet. And that was going to be one of his ways of getting out of the country.
Right.
So we had to secure all the outlets.
Right.
And our job, since the airport was, you know, by the water, was to go in, secure the airport, you know, damage his plane.
Right.
But the problem with the war is it's this. You know, when you go to war, you know, they have rules of engagement.
Exactly.
So when you go in, before you go into a room with a lawyer, and the guy tells you, you know, these are the things you can't do. If you do this, if you do that, you're going to go to jail. So, you know, when you go to war, you know, against someone that doesn't have any rules, you go in with your hands already tied.
A little bit of a disadvantage, for sure.
And that's what happened to us. You know, our mission was changing according to the rules of engagement, and we had to get closer than we had to the target to be able to follow with the mission.
So, on that, it was a night, you were there in the evening, right?
Right, yeah.
So, at that night in 1989, your life changed on that runway tarmac.
Forever, yes.
Forever.
You know, what happened that night, it changed my life, and it changed the life of pretty much everybody that was with me.
Right.
All my teammates, and, you know, and that's you know, a story on its own.
All right. Guys, stay tuned to Achievement Through Attitude TV, and we'll find out how Carlos's life changed in 1989. Hey everyone, welcome back to Achievement Through Attitude TV. I hope you're getting your attitude adjusted. we left off with Carlos on the runway in Panama in 1989, and that's where his life changed. So, Carlos, go ahead and tell us what happened on that night.
In Panama, in the evening, one of the problems that we had to get too close to our target. You know what I mean? And we didn't have any cover. So I'm going to make a long story short is that, you know, everything that could go wrong in an operation that night went wrong with us.
Let me ask you a question. So you were out in the open, on an open airfield?
On the tarmac.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the last thing that a SEAL team wants to do. Number one is to get in a firefight.
Right.
Number one is to, you know, to not have any cover. You want to be able to go do your job, leave. Nobody ever knew they were there. And here we are in the middle of the tarmac, no protection, in front of an airplane hangar, with people pointing guns at you,
right,
where you can't shoot back first. You have to wait for them to open fire on you so you can, you know, protect yourself. And by the time that happened, it was too late for my platoon. I was shot in my back, I was shot in my leg. Both of my teammates on left and right, they were killed, and 2 other guys behind me. 9 of us were injured pretty bad. And as soon as I was shot, you know, I fell down, and I knew things weren't going to be the same. But regardless, you know, you do have a little bit of hope. I woke up, it was like 2 days later, and I was in the hospital, and I was already in Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas, okay, wow.
Yes. And, you know, you wake up in a hospital, you don't know anyone, and people are telling you the things that you can't do anymore. You know, they bring you back to this reality that you think, you know, this is not my reality. You're paralyzed now. You're never going to be able to walk for the rest of your life. And for someone as active as I was, someone that loved, you know, the job that I was doing so much, you know, there was a lot to be taken in. You know, in my mind, I was thinking, you know, just, you know, fix me up, you know,
and get
and
you back out there.
I want to go back to the office and do my job.
Right.
And but that wasn't about to be. I mean, my life changed forever, and you know, and you have to reassess your whole life. You have to start all over again. All the things that you thought you wanted to do, you know, you have to start rethinking all those things.
Right.
And with me, you know, I was very fortunate that I had a really good, you know, support structure. You know, my friends and my family, they rally up and they got me through it. You know, I was able to, you know, to realize that I was still the same person. You know, I couldn't walk. Right. But you know, I was still the same guy. You know, I was still a Navy SEAL, and that was going to be with me, you know, for the rest of my life.
Always a SEAL.
Pretty much. Yeah. And you know, so and that was the attitude. I wasn't going to let the wheelchair really, you know, define who I was. You know what I mean? I was going to define who I was on my own. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to let the wheelchair be in the way of the dreams that I had before. So that's what I did. And but it wasn't something that just happened. Oh, I know, everything's fine. You know what I mean? It's something. It's a process that you go through that you realize that, you know, things are going to be okay. You know, as long as you surround yourself with good people.
I went to listen to you speak, and I remember you talked about this. And you said the one thing that got you through is, I believe it was a SEAL team member presented you with a poster. And that poster, it was a Nike poster that said, "Just do it." But on that poster, it was all wheelchair athletes?
Racers, yeah, they're racing in chairs. You know, one guy brought me the Trident, which is the badge that the SEAL teams get, the members get when they graduate. And he told me, and he gave it to me, and said, "Carlos, you know, you're still a SEAL. You're always going to be a SEAL. Nothing's going to, you know, ever change that. You know, you can't walk."
Yeah. How did that make you feel when he gave that to you?
You know, it makes me feel, number one, that, you know, people care. Right. Number one, you know, it brought me back to you know, to the reality that, yes, you know, you're still the same person. You know what I mean? And it made me feel very fortunate that I have this kind of people in my life. Right. You know what I mean? And then my other friend brought me the poster, which shows, you know, the guys in chairs racing, because they knew, you know, that's the kind of person I was. I wasn't going to go in a corner and sit and let this thing take over my life.
You weren't going to let it beat you.
No, you know what I mean? I knew it wasn't going to be easy.
Exactly.
So in my case, you know, sports became a huge part of my life. Right. Because it allowed me to you know, to focus all the energy that I had. You know, all that, you know, the characteristics that, you know, of who I was, you know, into play. And so I started wheelchair racing, you know, because of my my physical therapist kind of got me into it.
Got you started on that. Now, how long was it before you participated in? I know that you're a world record holder at the Ironman in Kona. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when did it get to that point?
You know, it was a long journey. It was a great journey. As soon as I checked into the hospital for my rehab, my physical therapist, you know, we have a young Navy SEAL here, you know, he's ready to go, you know, work with him.
Right.
And she knew exactly what to do. She brought me a racing chair, and I was racing down the hall at the hospital. I was competing at the Veterans Games, still with pins on my legs.
I was going to say, I bet you were a handful in the hospital,
yes.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get better. I wanted to get better, you know, and I wanted to be able to go back to my life.
Yeah.
And in sports was a big thing, you know. Like I said, I became really involved with sports. Within the first year, I was, first couple of years, I was already racing competitively. And eventually I was very fortunate, you know, through perseverance and through hard work, I was able to become good at it. You know,
right.
I got into triathlon, I got into wheelchair racing and cycling, and very fortunate, you know, to have good sponsors. And you know, I started my own company based on wheelchair sports.
Right.
And I'm at a point in my life now where I feel that the journey is almost starting to complete. You know what I mean? My sports career.
Right.
And so I'm very involved with veterans coming back from Iraq and from Afghanistan that are hurt, and just like me, just like I had people working with me, you know,
right.
to kind of mentoring me. That's what I do now.
Yeah.
That's one of the.
I know that you told me your phone rings off the hook, and it can ring any time for you to be jetted off to talk to these kids that come home that have had sustained serious injuries.
Pretty much, yeah.
And this is a guy that they call to give those people some direction, to give them some attitude.
I just got back from San Francisco a few days ago. I was at the VA hospital there in Palo Alto, and I was, you know, lucky enough to work with this young kid. He's 19 years old, and you know, and he lost both of his legs in Afghanistan and one hand. So we got him, you know, on a bike, and that's what I do. I go out there, and the doctors come in, and they tell you all the things that you can't do, you know, and I'm the one that goes in there, you know, and the people like myself, we go in and say, listen, you know.
You go in and tell them everything they can do.
I'm going to tell you what they can do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And from, you know, for them to be hearing that from someone in the same position is easier, you know, because I know what they're going through. I've been through the same thing.
Right.
So, you know, so it's easier for me to get the message through.
Okay.
Which is really rewarding for me to be able to you know, make a difference in somebody else's life. When this happened, you know, I mean, I knew that anything that I was going to do is going to, you know, affect other people's life. You know what I mean, good or bad. You know, and I wanted to be the effect to be positive.
Right.
I wanted to bring good things to other people's life. And so that's, you know, that was the attitude that I pretty much, you know, took on. You know, you gotta look at all the good things that are gonna come out of this. Right. You know, the bad things I couldn't change. You know, I had no control of it.
Right.
Really, only, you know, what happened from that time on.
You can control everything moving forward.
Right. You know, and focus on the positive. You know,
exactly.
I'm not gonna spend 1 second of my life, you know, worrying and thinking about the things I can't do.
Right.
You know,
not 1 second. Not 1 second worrying.
I look, you know, at the good things that, you know, that I have, and focus on that. Focus on the positive. Focus on the things that you can control in one way or another, and you know, and persevere. You know, do your best and try to succeed. Obstacles, you know, it's an opportunity for you to develop as a person. It's an opportunity for you to rediscover yourself, and it's a test. You know, I mean, if everything in life was easy, you know, we all would be happy and fine, but it's not.
Right.
You know, life is going to throw curveballs at you, and how you face those challenges, how you face those problems, really will define who you are.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about how you've gotten involved with the Challenge Athletes Foundation. I know that you're a spokesperson.
The Challenge
for
Athletes
them.
Foundation, it's a great organization. They're based in San Diego. And, you know, like me, they use sports as a tool, you know, to get people back in life. You know, our metaphor is that we use life as a big game, and you're the star player.
Right.
And then if you get hurt, you got out of the game. You know what I mean? And that's what happened with someone with a physical disability. They get hurt, you know, and then life changes. You know, and their mission, their job is to get back you out there. And sports is the tool, is the venue, competitive sports, because in sports, especially for someone with physical disabilities, you know, it helps you grow and helps you develop self-confidence.
Right.
It helps you, you know, guide you through positive thinking. And once you know, the first thing that happens when you get hurt, you know, you think, what am I going to do now? You know what I mean? You're not worried about how do I get to the office, you know, next morning. You know what I mean? You want to have the confidence to go back and live your life, to go back to college, you know, to have a family, you know, to start a business.
Right.
And
everything that you've done.
That you've done. And that's how we use sports, as a tool to bring back that empowerment, you know, and that confidence,
Right.
to allow you to say, okay, you know, I know I can do this.
Right.
Now I can go back and, you know, and do the things that I wanted to do, regardless of being, you know, in a chair or not.
That's amazing.
And the Challenge Athletes Foundation, it's, like I said, it's a great organization. Anyone that would like to check and learn more about it,
Right.
they can go online to challengeathletes.org,
Right.
and you'll be amazed of the amount of information in the stories that they have there of the athletes that
I've seen some
that
of them. Yeah.
they have featured on that website. That it will change your life.
Exactly.
You know, I'm positive it will.
Yeah, exactly. And you get the opportunity. There's an option on the website that you can actually donate and help this organization bring these kids opportunity.
You know, it's because people don't realize is that for an able-bodied person, let's say, if you want to run, you know, and you go to the store, buy yourself a pair of shoes, and you go out running.
Right.
For someone that is disabled, let's say someone is missing a leg, you not only have to buy the shoe, but you also have to buy the leg. You know, and in a running leg, it's in the upwards of $15,000 just to be able to live, you know, an active life.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what they need to do. And it's impossible for someone to be able to do that.
Right.
And that's where the Challenge Athletes Foundation come in.
Right.
They provide the funds, you know, and the guidance and the mentorship to allow anyone with a physical disability to pursue any sport that will enhance their life, their quality of life.
Great organization, and it's fronted by a great man. Closing now, you're training for an event in Australia. Tell us quickly,
Yeah. It's
quickly
gonna be
about
a great
that.
event. It's the longest, the toughest off-road, you know, bike race in the world. It's in Queensland. It's 800 miles. It's 10 days, and we're going to do it on off-road hand cycles. Just a bike that you bike with your arms.
Right.
And we're doing it all to raise funds and awareness for the Challenge Athletes Foundation.
Amazing, amazing.
Looking forward to that.
I'd like to thank Carlos for being on Achievement Through Attitude TV and sharing his amazing story, and hopefully helping some of us adjust our attitudes or maybe get a new attitude. I'm Phil Stringer for Achievement Through Attitude TV, and remember, there's not challenges, there's opportunity. Never hang your head and never surrender, and we'll see you next week on Achievement Through Attitude TV to get your attitude adjusted.